What's going on? It is Jason. Whoop, whoop. Ariga, that's a mighty good Kupek. Let's get it. How's everybody doing? It is Sunday, right? It's been a crazy weekend. This past week was really intense, and I'll get into all that, but let me just make sure everything that I have is set up accordingly. So we will go into the tubers here. All right. It's been a crazy weekend. This past week, maybe I was a little hot on the audio, but wanna say hi. Let's go. All right. Let's get this thing kicked off. Whoop, whoop. So, how's everybody's week going? How's everybody's weekend? My weekend was pretty good. Had a pretty heavy, intense strategic planning meeting yesterday with Celebrate Recovery. It's kind of been probably the heartbeat of this entire week. So the previous week we had our third quarter all hands at Small Giants, which is really dope. Exciting news. We had a couple of our videos win some Marcom awards. Whoop whoop. So I'm super stoked. What's up, Core Visual? What's cracking? Maybe I'll share some of those videos with you guys. So we entered some of our videos in to try to win certain marketing awards that there are in the industry. So one of them is called the Marcon, and we were a platinum winner for one of our videos, which is super dope. So, but we spent all day Wednesday pretty much hashing out our third quarter. You know, you go over, strategic planning, revenue goals, how the company is doing as a whole. We do it all as a team. Every single person that, is an employee at Small Giants, the fam, we gather and we hang out for the entire day. We shut down operations and we just reflect and hash things out and dial some things in, and it's just a lot of fun. So that was our Wednesday. And then we rolled off the rest of the week, did a bunch of editing, had a couple shoots. One of the shoots was a really fun ribbon cutting at a school. So I got to hang out with a bunch of little kids running around. Made me miss my kids a little bit, but they're out running around. But our client built one of these impressive media centers for this elementary school. And it renovated this really cool library and then pretty much made it into a media type place where you have, some really cool visual learning aspects and a library and some technology to help assist in teaching and things of that nature, because I think that's how the school is progressing. Or how the world's actually progressing. So it was really neat. It was a really neat ribbon cutting. And then we roll into Saturday, at Celebrate Recovery, the leadership team, us coaches, we got together and we hashed out, next year and did some strategic planning for upcoming events that are happening and things of that nature. So what do they say? Failure to plan to fail, or something. Failure to plan to fail, or something of that nature. But yeah, so it was a hectic week, a lot of heaviness of just, firing up those cylinders in the whole brain, get the juices flowing up there. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So, and then last night I kind of vegged out after spending 6 hours in a strategic planning meeting. Kind of got off, got out of that and came home, hung out with the fam for a little bit, and then pretty much vegged out, and I end up watching the Perfect Neighbor documentary. I don't know if anybody has seen that yet. So if you haven't seen it, probably click out of here, because I might do some spoilers, and I don't want to ruin the experience of you yourself going to watch it. But yeah, so I'm going to be talking about the documentary. So if you haven't seen it and are you wanting to see it, then please click out. Warning, spoiler alerts. So I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But it was an interesting documentary. I love documentaries. Documentaries are my jam. I just enjoy them. I pretty much watched every sport documentary that was probably ever created. I really geek out on those, like Last Dance. And the really cool documentary was The Gambler and His Cowboys. It was about the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones and his saga and his story, which was quite interesting. Charlie Sheen doc was a lot of fun. Got to, it's kind of cool immersing yourself into people's stories. The Michael J. Fox doc, a lot of those docs. I've seen quite a few of them because I just love documentaries, as does the world, because they're super popular right now. But last night I was watching the Perfect Neighbor documentary, and I just have to say, it was a heavy documentary, but the one thing I think with that doc was they did really well is they immersed you into the story. So I'm just a huge fan of storytelling. Storytelling is just, it doesn't matter what gear you have, doesn't matter, what kind of camera you're shooting on, whatever. Are you able to tell a story? And for the most part, the creators of that documentary and the director and everybody, they really immersed you into the film. They didn't have a typical narrator like narrating you through it, telling you this is what's going on. Basically what they did, which was quite interesting, was they used body cam footage of a couple years of situations that this community of neighbors faced in the 2 years. Now, right off the bat, an individual dies, and it was a mother of 4 kids, which is tragic. And the moral, I guess, not the moral, I guess the situation of the film expressed how when you allow fear to dictate your actions, just terrible things could go wrong. And when you minus peace, or looking at your neighbor or your people in your communities as actual people, like connect with people, learn, seek to understand, and you allow fear and anger to be the driving force of your motives, terrible things happen. Hence, this woman she had some things going on. I don't want to speak ill, just not how I get down. I try to have an open mind, and because we don't know, I'm always curious to know what is the story that's going on in an individual's mind before they decide to make a decision about something. And I'm not saying that decision-making process is flawed in a certain way when somebody ends up dead. But yeah, the lady was very disturbed. She had some anger issues, and she allowed that frustration over time just kind of swell, and then it led to the point where she allowed fear and anger motivate her actions, where she ended up shooting and killing a woman, which is it's very tragic. And yeah, it was a heavier documentary, and it was quite interesting how they told the story, allowing you to be immersed in it. No real narrator no narrator like walking you through. They just allowed the footage of both body cams, cell phone footage, and things of that nature to tell the story, and news clippings, things of that nature. So yeah, it was interesting, but also very tragic. And I feel for the woman and her family. I feel for her kids, which is terrible because they were there, and yeah, one of her kids was there. It was just, yeah, it was rough. But and at first the woman wasn't, she got arrested or detained, I should say, but she wasn't, it took a minute to do the investigation, and eventually she ended up getting arrested and going to jail and serving time. And yeah, so, which you can't take the law. And then she was trying to like say it was self-defense, but nobody was buying that story. So, which there's some interesting like self-defense laws, and that's intriguing. I want to research those a little more and get to understand what those laws are and what it means to, you know, to defend yourself, you know, I guess, if you're in fear of your life. But I'm just going to be very transparent. I myself have been in situations, assault situations, where I was arrested and detained just because I put somebody, well, what was stated was the person, if they were placed in a fearful situation, if I placed an individual in a fearful situation, then that is considered an assault and domestic violence. Just the act of putting fear in somebody's heart or mind can get you arrested and charged with domestic violence, especially in the state of Alaska, where they take domestic violence very seriously, which they should. But there's some situations, and I know this is probably a very sensitive topic for some, that, you know, it's not always the case where there's domestic violence or assault that's even happening. It's just somebody, whatever case, wanting to get the other person in trouble. They call the cops and things of that nature. And then you got to be put in a position, especially if you didn't do anything, you have to defend yourself. And it's just, I'm just speaking from experience. And that, actually watching that documentary brought me back to my personal interactions with the cops, personal interactions with, you know, my own story, and having things like that happen to me, where, you know, which was super interesting because this woman, I've had all things happen to me, and it's just been I've lived a very interesting life. But if I myself were to assault somebody, I'm getting arrested, and I'm being charged, and I'm going to be, you know, I'll have my day in court, as they say, and then that's it. I don't know if I've gotten, and there's people that don't get that luxury. And as my wife tells me all the time, I'm stand in a place of privilege being a white male. So, but I haven't, in speaking from my past, I've faced some things that were quite, it didn't go my way, and I didn't see or feel any kind of privilege. I felt like I was, facing this situation that was happening wrongly, and yeah, it sucked. So, but yeah, I'm probably treading in some very, very, I should probably change the subject, but anyway, I'm just keeping it real. I've experienced some things in my life, had my dealings with law enforcement, and yeah, so the documentary it sparked some things back in me that I reflected on, and just was like, wow. But I guess what I am grateful for now, being in the position I am now, where I am in my life, a little bit more maturity and things of that nature. I am blessed that I have the ability not only to just reflect, but also take a moment and pause and evaluate things before I allow fear or anger be the driving force of whatever my decision may be, which has been many years of going to therapy, being part of a community like Celebrate Recovery that has tools to help equip you to handle these types of situations that you may face where, you're getting a little upset or angry or frustrated. Now, I'm human. I still have my moments. So I have to constantly ask God for his patience, his grace, and it's been, yeah. Some days could be very challenging, and I had to make some amends. I make them a lot quicker now. If I've wronged somebody or I've done something that I felt was unnecessary, I will make those amends very quickly to right whatever the wrong is, because if I don't, then resentment starts to form, and resentment is a very dangerous thing for me. So I'm kind of going on a tangent. I didn't mean to go down this road, but here we are. I am grateful and blessed for the tools I have equipped over the years to help allow me to operate out of a place of grace and understanding and patience. And I don't get it right all the time. So, but I'm a work in progress. So yeah, it was a super, super interesting documentary. I just probably ruined it for a lot of people, so I'm sorry. I did give a warning if you hadn't seen it and you were wanting to see it, to not stay, to get off this video. So yeah, how you guys like the hat? So I am like digging this vibe a little. Like the hat, I kind of want a black one, so that might be the next move that I make, is to get a nice solid black. I think I got this really neat hipster vibe going on with the hat. My wife thinks I look like a Yellowstone actor, like I'm in the movie Yellowstone or something, which I have never seen Yellowstone, but she says that I have that vibe going, where I don't necessarily think this is like a cowboy vibe, but it's more, this is a Brixton hat, Brixton Supply Company. So, and yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging the vibe. So, all right. And the other exciting news is I'm 100 and 80 subs away from hitting the goal of 1,000. I'm really hoping I can get there before the end of the year. We got, 2.5 months. So I got 2.5 months to try to get to the finish line. So, it's technically not the finish line, but it is the finish line of this goal. The goal I have to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2025. I started this initiative November of last year is when I kicked off this initiative to hit the goal. So it's been a grind since last year to get, and I think at that moment I may have had 400 or 500 subs at the time. So getting up to 800 now is pretty dope. I'm pretty excited about it. I have to give a shout out to my boy Joseph for doing a video shouting me out, and that was really awesome. That actually got me like a handful of subscribers too, so thank you. That was pretty impressive. So I'm really grateful for the people in my community that are helping me out and wanting me to reach the goal as well. I mean, that's what this is all about. This community of creators that like to hang out, vibe off of each other, watch content, enjoy each other's content, and support each other. I mean, that's pretty good stuff, and I'm really blessed. So, all right, what do we got going on? So, that was pretty much it. I don't know if I have anything outside that I want to share, but for those that are new watching, welcome. My name's Jason. I am originally from Alaska, but me and my wife and our family, we moved here in 2021 to the beautiful state of Arizona. So we live here outside of Phoenix, and yeah, it's truly been the best move that we've taken, and me and my wife love it here. This is a great place for the kids, and we're excited. So we're excited about our endeavors as we're exploring things, and it's been awesome. My wife has established a career doing things that she loves to do in her community of people that support her, and she's a reseller, so she's killing it in her business, and I'm super proud of her. And then and every Sunday I try to go live like this and just share what's on my mind for the week, things that I've experienced, things that may be coming up, and then I dive into my numbers. So I will continuously keep doing this until the end of days where I stop YouTube. But I'm going to continue this and share and be fully transparent, because I do have a bit of a little setup here. I got my talking head cam, a mic, and then I got my, I got my switcher here. So, I'm going to be doing those things and walking along with you as we dive into the YouTube stuff. So we're doing it together. I have not looked at any of my analytics, so it'll be the first. And then how I like to look at the analytics is I take the top 3 for me, which are views, watch hours, and subscribers, and then I compare them to the previous week. So I'll take this last week and compare it to the previous week just to see how the old channel's doing. And I will continuously keep doing this until I don't. But yeah, even when I hit the goal and keep chugging along, I love creating and putting my content on YouTube. So I'm here to stay and to do it. So let's see, we got, oops, that was like Inception. So let's not do that. All right, so let's go ahead and get this party started with diving into the numbers. All right, I am gonna minimize our go. let's do this. File, new window, pull up another YouTube. Now I'm gonna go 3 on. There we go. Yeah. Minimize that because I'm sure that is. I want to go down. I know that's super confusing. So, yeah, I'm gonna drop that down. The Growing Pro, got to give him a shout out. I've been kind of checking out his footage and his videos here lately. Super dope. I love this dude, Justin Phillip. He's an awesome creator, really down to earth. I love his perspective on things, keeping things real, and he's got a funny way to tell stories. And he's a great creator. So he goes live on Sunday too, so which is pretty awesome. He has way more people tuning into his lives than I got tuning into mine, but that's awesome. I go and watch his lives after I'm done with mine. So that's what I typically do on Sundays after I go live. So, all right, let's get into the numbers. I'll grow that. I'll go here and go to YouTube Studio. And then I go into analytics. All right, here is what the channel's done in the last 28 days. I've gotten the top 3 for me. I've gotten 18.5 thousand views, 105 watch hours, and I've gotten 34 new subscribers. That's what's happened in the last 28 days. But like I said, I like to compare it to the previous, this week to the previous week. So I go into custom mode here, and I'm taking this day and that day. That's everything that's happened this past week, and I hit apply. So as you can see, there has been a huge uptick in my channel, which is freaking awesome. I kind of knew this was happening because I've got a big uptick in subscribers and watch hours and things of that nature, but this, I am grateful. I am extremely grateful for the views, for the watch hours, and the subscribers. This feels good, and I'm blessed. So super dope. I've gotten 7.2 thousand views, 40 watch hours, and 22 new subscribers. That is freaking outstanding. That is so dope. I'm blown away. Don't have words to express how happy I am. Yeah, it's good. This is not the norm for my channel. My channel is very small channel vibes. I typically get 3,000 views to 18 to 20 watch hours and probably 2 to 3 subscribers. Typically that's what a week looks like for me. So this is definitely not the norm for me. So I love it, and I hope it continues to grow like this, because then it makes me feel a little bit more, optimistic about hitting my goal. Because I'm trying to have like a weird balance of being realistic and optimistic. And it's like, because if I base it off how the channel typically performs, I don't think I'm going to hit the goal before the end of the year. But being optimistic, I get these little bursts of things that happen that just give me like 40, 50 new subscribers right off the bat, which is so awesome, and it feels so good. And so there's that. So I'm trying to be more on the side of having optimism and thinking that, you know what, my channel's gonna get there. We're gonna hit the goal. We're gonna hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year. And that's how I'm kind of vibing. I don't feel that way all the time. There's days, especially when you see the channel like digress, because that has happened too, where I've lost 4 or 5 subscribers before and the channel's kind of dipped. And yeah, so it's been super interesting. And I'm trying to do this all organically, just me being me, sharing what I like to create and the content that I like to create, and get the people subscribing that want that kind of stuff. Because I can't be what I'm not, and I'm not going to fake the funk. I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to create the things that I enjoy creating and sharing with you guys. I haven't played the YouTube game the way that YouTube wants you to do things, I think. I've just been very focused on growing my audience the way that I want to grow. Doesn't mean I'm right. I'm probably doing this a very terrible way, especially in a marketing standpoint, but I'm enjoying it. I love it. I'm creating what I want to create, and I'm sharing what I want to share, and I enjoy doing it with all of you guys. I get tons of these emails and comments from these YouTube SEO specialists that want to help me grow my channel. They send me messages. I get a ton of them that ask me, hey, let me help you get your channel blowing up. And I don't know. I enjoy doing it this way, and it's been a lot of fun. And so, all right, so this is what this week's been like. Now, I want to compare to this to the previous week. So what I have to do is go into the advanced mode up here, and then this little add comparison up over here to the left, and then you go period over period. So basically, now I'm comparing this week to the previous week. What happened? Dang. Let's try this again. Add. Boom. There we go. All right. Everything in blue is this week. Everything in purple was the previous week. So this week I got 7,194 views. The previous week I got 4,103. I'm just going through the top three. Top three for me. Now let's go into watch time, watch hours. This week I got 40 watch hours. The previous week I got an 18. So yeah, a little bit of an uptick. Now let's go to subscribers. All right, the previous week I got 4. This week I got 22, which is it just blows me away. And again, I think a lot of the new subscribers was a lot coming from my boy Joseph publishing his video that he gave me a shout out to help people come to help support me getting to the goal. So I greatly appreciate you. He means a lot, dude. So thank you. There's been a few people along this ride that have given me a lot of tons of support. I got solid people, I think, that watch my content, that I feel good, and that's what this is all about. So, all right, that was the top 3 for me. Now what I like to do is I like to remove the comparison and just kind of geek out on some other things that I think are a lot of fun. And that is, let's go into content, let's go into geography. So where is everybody watching from? So 3,000 of those views came from the United States. Awesome. USA. And then 500 came from India, then 200 from Canada, then on down the line, we got Indonesia, Australia, United Kingdom, Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Germany, France, South Africa, Yemen, Brazil, Turkey. Dope. Super awesome. Thank you guys. Worldwide. I'm going worldwide, baby. It's so much fun. Now I like to go into, let's go into, I like to go into viewer age, right? Yeah, viewer age. So here, it's just a wide gamut of people tuning in. I mean, 25 to 34-year-olds always are the biggest piece of this pie. And then this one flip-flops between 35 to 44 to 18 to 24, which is cool. But I've gotten 13-year-olds to 70-plus-year-olds watching the content I create, which is a lot of fun. It feels good that I could spread it to all ages. It just feels, what am I trying to say? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that my contents can be watched and viewed across the spectrum of multiple ages, but it makes sense that 25 and 34-year-olds, view my stuff. I'm in this category, which is 10% of the pie, 45 to 54-year-olds. So, all right, now let's go into viewer gender. All right, 79% male, 21% female. That typically is normal. I have anywhere from 70 to 80% viewership from majority of males watch my stuff. So quite interesting. And then device type is always mobile phones. That's gotten the biggest piece of the pie, so that hasn't changed. But now, the one thing, operating system. The last week was close between Android and iOS. And Apple's been on top, but not lately. It's been like 8-9 solid weeks that Android devices have been on top. So let's go ahead and see who is the king. Android, yeah, by 1,000 and some. So not even close. So Android's running top again, which is cool. So shout out to all my Android users. Appreciate you tuning in and watching. Let's go, Apple users. Let's make this a competition again, because you've been getting blown out of the water the last several weeks, Apple, but it's all good. All right. Now, that's pretty much all I have. So let's do a quick recap. The top three for me: 7,000.2 views, 40 watch hours, and 22 new subscribers. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. And then here has been my top content this period. So let's dive into this. So this is that barber video I did. I did this barber video. It's gotten me 1 subscriber, which is dope. But the analytics is 36% stayed and watch. Average view duration is 27 minutes. And it's a 57-second video. So 27 seconds. So I'm glad you're staying in for majority of it. But that's interesting. So reach, let's see. I don't know what any of this means. I'm kind of geeking out on this stuff. It has been suggested that I dive into some of these things, like the engagement. So, engaged views, unique viewers, watch time, average duration. So, quite interesting. Let's go into the actual. Let's dive into I think I've already gone over this video. Cause this one, I've gotten 33,000 views on this video. It's gotten me 32 subscribers. Reach 649,000 impressions. I don't know what all this really means. I think it's good stuff, but I've already gone over this video. So, is there a new one on here that I haven't checked out? This one? Let's see what's going on. Some of my older videos, as you can see, like This thing, okay, so this is what I find super motivating and awesome, is that some of these videos that I've done in the past, so I've been on this journey. I've been in rocking YouTube since 2018, on and off. Haven't really stayed consistent with it. But here lately, since November, I've been rocking pretty consistent. So this thing kind of took off at day 176, and now it's like boom, 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 boom. It's like jumping up and starting to get some traction. I'm finding a lot of my older videos are starting to do that, which is motivating for me. It's like super dope. I think that is so let's look at reach. You know, it's gotten 45,000 impressions, 1,000 views, engagement. Not a lot of people are staying in this video very long. It's a 3-minute video. They're staying for 17 seconds. So I don't know if that was good for my ego. But let's see here. Yeah. Audience, I've gotten 1 subscriber from it. All right, cool. Here's another one that's done really well. Let's look at this one. Oh, it's taking me to the actual video. I didn't want to do that. All right, let's go back. Let's see some more here. Yeah, is this one? Yeah, let's just check this one out. So this one's been up and down, which is pretty cool. How do I look at am I doing something wrong? I want to look at the analytics. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Boom. Well. All right. I don't know how to go back to what I was looking at. So that's where we're at. This is what the uptick in viewership on older videos is motivating. So, all right. I think that's pretty much all I have, guys. I don't know if I have anything else for you. Let me just close out of this. Let me go back here, go off. All right, I think, yeah. Let's see here. We go escape, get out of that. All right. All right, well, I think that's it. 180 more subscribers to go. Let's go. Awesome. All right, I'm going to shut this bad boy down. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me. It's been an amazing week. It's been amazing live. I got to talk a little bit about that documentary. That was fun. And then dive into my YouTube analytics and share that with you guys. So that's pretty much all I have. All right, guys, thank you so much. And with that, I will catch you on the next one. Whoop, whoop. Let's end this bad boy. And yeah.